Hi guys, I wanted to come back today and redo the video that I did last night, or at least a part of it last night that I did around earnings, savings, investing, expenses, and luxuries, right? So what I want to do is just kind of do a recap of that so that, as you notice, I have all the letters going in the right direction, right? Everything is kind of working the way it should. And there's a little something I want to kind of add as a result of this whole process. One of the things that we really have to work through is this whole idea that everything we do has to be perfect when we start. I know my information and I know it inside and out. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, learning this technology piece is a challenge. But you guys bore with me, you were understanding, and I think you got the message. But now, the onus is on me to learn from my mistakes. And so I went out and with some help and some suggestions from some folks, I went out and I purchased what I needed to do in order for you to be able to see it and the presentation flows the way it should, right? And I liken that to what you're dealing with in terms of your finances. Hey, you may not have a clue about how to do it. You may have been doing it all wrong. When you hear a better way, you may feel really bad and all that. Let it go. Let it go. That's what life is all about. It's really about learning from your mistakes and growing and being better. And so to that extent, you're taking that step. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So we're going to move forward. We're going to, as big as your challenges are, and I'm hearing from a lot of you guys wanting to, start now. What do I do? Just take it easy. Calm down. It's a lot to digest. By the time we get to the point where we're ready to launch into the program, you're going to be ready. Emotionally, mentally, you're going to be ready. And you're probably going to have some support systems around you as a result of sharing this and liking the page and making comments. You're going to have some folks around you who's going to support you in this effort because they're going to be taking the same steps you are. So without any further ado, let me just do a quick check and make sure that we are moving live. Folks, I pulled it up. It looks like everything is moving along pretty good. That crazy cough? Yeah, I hear it. Okay, here we go. So, folks, how about I turn the volume down? Pulled it up. There we go. So look, last night I kind of started off with this little story. It's called my Little Red Wagon story, right? And so what I wanted to share with you about that is this. I had a little enterprise, a little red wagon. Some guys were doing some work across the street from me where we live. They were rebuilding some houses that had gotten burned down. And so a big truck came and offloaded this pallet with these cinder blocks on it. Because, I grew up in a not so, affluent neighborhood. And the foundation was built on cinder blocks. And so these guys were lugging these cinder blocks from the pile to where they were working. And so what I did was, after watching them for a couple of days, I decided I'd get my little red wagon and I would put 3 or 4 in my wagon and pull over to them, right? And they liked it. They thought it was cute, plus it was helpful. I provided a service, right? So they would give me a quarter or 50 cents, and that would be my routine. I would do that. Now, the minute I finished servicing, providing a service to them, where'd I go? Went straight to the candies, to the corner store. And I bought my candy, my Mary Janes, my squirrel nuts, my chicory sticks. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The spaghetti candy, even got a pickle or 2, right? And some ice cream. And so I did this for a couple days, got back home one day, and my mom happened to see me with the little bag and my jaws filled with all this candy. And she said, "Son, where did you get all that candy from?" And I said, "I work for it." And she said, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "I help the men across the street with the bricks that they use to build the house." And so she says, "Oh, okay, that's good." She said, "Are you saving any of that money?" And I said, "Well, no, I'm not saving any." And she said, "Well, you really need to save some, put some aside." And I looked at her kind of strange because it didn't really make sense why my mother would be saying this to me. You know, I'm an 8-year-old. And I said to her, I said, Mom, why do I need to save it when I get it every day? And so a light bulb went off when I reflected back on that story. The blueprint got laid very early, didn't it? Why do I have to save if I'm going to have it every day, or at least I anticipate I'm going to have it? And so when you think about it, that's kind of the life of our money. We got a job. We know we're going to get paid every week or every 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. And we figure we'll get to it. So here's the way this lifeline of money works, right? Pardon me. Some of you use green to represent money, right? So you get paid, right? Here we go. Dollars on payday, right? And so we come here and we get the money, and the next step in the lifeline of money is savings. But we look at that and we go, if we even know anything about it, right? We go, well, you know what? I was looking at those shoes, or there's a car that I wanted to buy because the car I used to, you know, go through high school or college or whatever the case. It's kind of old, so I'll buy that, and then I'll get back to the savings piece. And so then we come over here to the investment side. And, you know, saving and investment, well, what's the difference, right? So we kind of bypass that because it seems a little complicated. And we don't want to deal with anything that's complicated, particularly when it has to do with our money. Why? Because it's embarrassing. You feel a little ashamed, like maybe you should know better, whatever the case may be, right? And so then what we do is we come over here, and this is where we deposit those dollars. We, as adults or head of households running, you know, a household, we deposit those dollars here in the expense luxury category, right? And so what are our expenses? You know, it's rent or mortgage, it's groceries, it's utilities, it's clothes for the kids, supplies from schools, science projects, you know, maybe a vacation, car maintenance, all those things, right? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, because we work so hard and we pay all of our money for these things that we really are obligated to pay for, right? We figure, you know what? I owe it to myself. And so then we buy a luxury or two. And so there goes our money, right? And so what I want to try and break down for you really simply is this. You know, I got earnings in black, right? Because, you know, you're in the black when you get it. It's all yours. You don't do any, I got the savings in the blue. Now, because you don't put anything here in the savings and you don't put anything in the investing, when you get to this category over here, the expenses and your luxuries, basically what you did was you killed the life of your money. Hear me when I say that. You killed the life of your money because you went from earning it to disposing of it, and there's no place where it goes to work. There is no place where it can grow, right? So if you were a farmer, would you plow up all the, harvest the field and not plant any other seeds? No. Why would you? That would be ridiculous, right? Because then how would you continue to have crops to grow? So if I'm understanding this correctly, farmers harvest, and a certain amount of their harvest goes to market, and another portion of their harvest is seeded so that they can replant, right? And so we killed the money. Money's dead. Now you got to wait till the next paycheck in order to get some more dollars, and then you do the same thing over again, right? Now, some of the ways that you can save are, setting up a little savings account, and you can drop a few dollars in there, here and there, right? So that for something short term like, tires, or a nice gift that you want to get for a birthday coming up or your birthday party for your kids, or whatever the case may be, vacation. Investing, on the other hand, is really more long term. So savings is one of those things you do for anywhere for a month to 3-4 months out, maybe even a year, right? If it's a vacation or something. Investing is something you do to pay you back in your life, for living. So you make an investment really with the intention of not touching it for 20, 30, 40, 50, 40 years, right? To pay you back when you no longer are working. Now, there are different types of investing. So some investing, if you're a business person, you know, you look at, I buy a property, I renovate it and sell it, and what I pay for it is one cost, what I sell it for is another, and the difference is a profit. That's a form of investing, right? And you take those dollars and you just, as they say, rinse and repeat. You just do the same thing. But in terms of a working person who's going to go to work every day for 30, 40 years, whatever the case may be, and retire at a certain age and have enough money and enough energy to enjoy the money, they're going to start putting away money so that they have $4, $5, $6, $7, $10,000 per month when they're no longer working. And so when you take that approach, right, you take this little detour here with your money. You ever heard the saying, pay yourself first, right? Well, here's where you do that. You do that with savings. And I'm only going to put a couple of dollar signs here because this is not a place where you necessarily dump a lot of your money, right? And so then the next line is green, right? This is where you're going to build some real wealth right here. This is where you're going to make some real money, right? Long term, right? This is just dollar signs all over the place, right? So, purpose again is to pay you back at some later date without your effort, right? That's the beautiful thing about investing. And so, when you don't do this, right? When you don't do this, this here becomes what happens to your dollars, right? You know that thing that happened, you get a dollar sign, or you get, you know, so here's a dollar sign, here's a dollar sign, here's a dollar sign, and another dollar sign. And then what happens is you draw that circle around them, you know that circle? And then you just draw that circle, and what do we put? A line right through it. A line right through it, right? A line right through it. A line right through it. Why? You killed the money. You killed the money. You just killed the money. Now, how can you use this money, or how can you, the only way that you can continue to have money in your pipeline is to do what? Go to work. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you know someone that is 60, 65, maybe even 70, still going out to work? Now, let me add this, because I don't want you to take this the wrong way. Some people get to a place in their life where they don't have to work because they've done this. But they go to work because they choose to. How about that? How about making smart decisions with your money so that you have a choice, right? There's nothing worse than having to do something because when you have a headache or you don't feel well, you got all kind of aches and pains, but you still got to roll out of that bed and make your way to that job and perform a duty that you probably don't enjoy doing anymore. Excuse me, and your body is kind of giving you all kind of painful signals that you really shouldn't be doing it. But because you don't have a choice, you gave that choice up when you went past these guys. When you went past these guys right here, you killed your choice. And so at Everyday Wealth Systems, here's what we're going to do. Here's my promise to you. My promise to you is I don't care how big your debt is. I do not care. My program will help you eradicate mortgages, excuse me, student loans, car loans, credit card debt, all of it in between 10 to 12 years. Right, I know that blew your mind, right? 10 to 12 years is very strategic. And you know what? You never have to get a second job. If you do, if you're one of those individuals who sees this and decides, you know what, I'm going to get extra income and so that I can accelerate this, more power to you. But let me just say this to you. You don't want to do that without some coaching, because even when you do that, you could put yourself in a different tax bracket, and it may defeat the whole purpose. You may be really working and put yourself in a different tax bracket, which now with your taxable rate, you really aren't earning enough, as much money as you really could or should in order to accelerate it like you wanted to, but you've expended a lot of energy. So there's even a strategic way to do that. So my role is to help you all the way around, to put together a strategic plan designed specifically for you. This is not a cookie cutter deal. So your brother may have one situation, your sister may have another situation, your mother or your aunt or your best friend may have their own situations. When I design your plan for you, it's yours. It's no cookie cutter deal where, it's one size fits all. It doesn't work that way, right? And so, having said that, what I want you to understand is how important this is, and we're going to implement it. But this is the whole. I got a comment today where someone said all I could think about all day today was earning, saving, investing in expenses and luxuries. That's all I could think about. Well, you know what? Then my approach to bringing you in this community and feeding you the way that I am is working. Because I don't want you to get caught up in a whole bunch of things. Well, when is he going to hit me with how much it's going to cost? That's coming. Don't worry. But what I want to do is I want to provide you with such valuable content that when we decide to do business together, there's a trust factor and a certainty on your part that you can do this, that we don't have the lag time that comes with me having to prod you and you didn't do what you're supposed to do in managing certain aspects of this. We're ready to go, hit the ground running. That's really important. And so the effectiveness of this approach, I believe, is the way all business should be done. There should be a level of confidence that you have before you do business with someone, that they're going to give you what they say they promise they're going to give you, and that it's going to work, and they're going to be there to support you every step of the way. Now, I have to tell you, nothing happens for free, right? And so but I don't want you to get one because the price points are really not that great, and you're not going to be like, oh my God, and have a heart attack about it. It's really going to be one of those things that this information is going to help you understand. If you didn't listen to another video beyond tonight, did this help you? Did this help you? And if it did, I want you to do hashtag I'm ready. Hashtag I'm ready. And put that in the comment section. Folks, share, like, and comment on these posts, because that's my way of helping you help me spread the word, right? So the more people we get to see this information, the more people we can help. The more people we can help, the more resources and support systems you have to build your community, to build your tribe, right? Because really each one of you should have a circle of 7. 7 individuals in your circle who are like-minded, moving in the same direction and utilizing the same strategies and disciplines to get to their goal. And what's going to happen with that is you guys are going to help each other. You're going to be a support system. You're going to be accountability partners for one another. It's amazing. It's an awesome, amazing approach to this. Look, I'm giving this to you. None of this stuff is in a book other than the one I'm writing. And it should be hitting the bookstores or the internet in about 4 months. But this is an approach that I created as a result of all of the failed experiences that I had that led me to really continue to dig and research to find a better way to do this. And so this is not some theory. I didn't get taught this in the class. While I have taken many seminars and had formal training in a lot of this stuff. I'm licensed in 5 states to provide services in insurance and annuities and investment, those kinds of things. But I don't even talk about those things, because if we can't get this straight, if you already have a deficit in your household expenses, what is the likelihood of me being able to, offer you a product or a service that's going to put you deeper in debt, right? It's going to be a hard decision to make. Even though it's probably a good decision, it's going to be hard. And so let's get this thing in order. I want you to start thinking about earning, saving, investing, expenses, and luxuries. We've all heard the saying, pay yourself first, right? And the reason why we say that is because when you invest in you, right, you basically are keeping, the machine well oiled, you're keeping it running, you're keeping it productive, right? So invest in you. Earnings go to savings. Then from savings to investments. Find out what they are. I will do a course on that. Now, some of you guys looking and saying, is this supposed to happen at 8 o'clock? Is this still going to happen? It will happen at 8. Okay? But I wanted to just give you this real quick so that you could have a clean shot of it, right? And the words are all going in the right direction. I figured this out, right? Thanks to Dion and Keisha and Wendy. Those guys figured this out, got it right. I think we're on the right track. I'm going to see you guys at 8. Please share, like, and comment on this video. Please, I need your help, your support. If you're finding value in this content, then I'm sure there's someone else that you know would as well. And so, it's a way we help each other, right? And so I'm excited to share this with you. I'm excited that it's all going in the right direction. Got my little colorful pens. Hopefully it's showing up nice and bright on your side. And we'll be back at 8, and we're going to talk about understanding how credit works, right? So line up, get in line, get your ticket, I heard somebody say they're getting their popcorn and getting ready for the show at 8. Well, however you want to get comfortable and do it, get a notebook, I don't know, whatever you do, but you can always go back and rewind these. But listen, tune in, share it with a few friends, family members, so they can tune in as well. And let's get this thing going. Remember, I'm going to do this for you at least twice a day. Well, at least once a day, but hopefully twice a day for the next 12 days. I think today is the 3rd. So we got 12 more days before the 15th. And that's when I'll wind up. But I'm going to pour in as much content as I can for you guys so that you can feel comfortable about the direction you're going to head in when we take that next step. Fair enough? Fair enough. Hey, thanks a lot. As I always say, there is life after debt. And I'm going to show you how, with your predictable income, to move your life from ordinary to extraordinary. For those of you who ask, how do you get into my community or my tribe? Of course, through Facebook, you like and you do those things. But what I'm going to suggest you do is, I'm going to suggest that you text the word. I want you to text freedom. All right? Freedom to this number 301-250-1088. Text freedom to 301-250-1088. Folks, I'll see you at 8 o'clock. Have a great dinner and get yourself ready. I'll be ready and energized and ready to talk about credit. How about that? God bless you and have a good night.